Alright, class 12, the next chapter of microeconomic theory is theory of consumers' behavior. In this chapter, we will be studying two approaches through which we can study the behavior of consumer. One is through cardinal approach and the second is through ordinal approach. Now, when we start with the chapter, there is a little introduction that how does a consumer decide how much of a good to buy at a given price, and why does he or she buy more of a good when its price falls. All these things we have studied in chapter demand, where we studied the relationship between price and demand. Alright. Then second question is that we look at consumers' behavior with the objective of explaining the principle behind the law of demand. Right? We are seeing whatever we are seeing, we are just finding out why the consumer is purchasing more at a low price and why he is purchasing less at a higher price, right? We mean to say that we were studying the reasons for the downward slope of the demand curve in demand chapter, and there we gave one of the reasons that we studied was law of diminishing marginal utility. Something that was the cardinal approach that we studied over there, that was one of the reasons. We'll be studying that in detail over here in this chapter. Now, various theories have been developed from time to time. We discuss here two such theories. One is cardinal utility analysis, and the second is ordinal utility analysis. The first is cardinal approach. Alright. Now here every consumer has to buy a number of goods and services with his limited income. Now the content that is marked over here is limited income. Right? That means we are talking about the restricted scope of a consumer to spend. Right? Then basic assumption of the economic theory of household behavior is that the consumer is rational. This is an assumption that is being taken up over here, that a consumer is a rational one, and that means he or she tries to maximize the total utility from his or her purchase. This is the most important factor that will be taking care of throughout the study of the theory, that the consumer, it is assumed that consumer is a rational person. And what do you mean by rationality of a consumer is that he tries to maximize his total satisfaction from his limited purchase. Now, important question which a consumer has to decide is how she should allocate, this is the second question, her given income on different goods and services so as to maximize total utility. The first question was that the consumer is trying to maximize his total utility with the given income. Then this next thing is that how he can maximize his total satisfaction with the purchase of different commodities, or how he can allocate his limited income on the purchase of different goods so that he can maximize his total utility. Now the statement given by in the book is, a consumer will be in equilibrium when she spends her income, her given income. Why given? Because we will be considering income as given, and this variable of income will not change throughout the study. Right? We will be assuming it to be a constant one. This won't change. We cannot make any changes in the income of the consumer. We assume it to be given. So the statement says a consumer will be in equilibrium when she or he spends her income, given income, on the purchase of different goods in such a way so as to maximize her total utility. So the answer to the question that how the consumer will allocate his income is given over here, that he will allocate his given income on different goods in such a way that they may maximize his total utility. The focus is on total, increment of total utility. The utility approach assumes that the utility which a consumer gets from a unit of a commodity can be measured in absolute terms. Now here we are coming to the cardinal approach. What the cardinal approach is believing that the utility which a consumer gets from a unit of a commodity can be measured in absolute terms in the same way as we measure the weight or height of a person. All right. So this is what we believe in the cardinal utility approach. All right. Then the statement says, again the statement is there in the book, that the consumer will maximize total utility when she allocate her income among various commodities in such a way that the marginal utility of the last rupee spent on each commodity is equal. Now here a slight difference has come in the statement. Previously the statement was saying that the consumer will allocate his given income on different goods in such a way that he will be maximizing his total utility. Now the statement is saying that the consumer will allocate his given income on different commodities in such a way that the marginal utility, now we are focusing on marginal utility of last rupee. We are not talking about the utility of the commodity, but we are focusing on the utility from the rupee spent on each commodity is equal. I hope you are understanding the meaning of these two different statements, right? So in order to understand the utility maximizing rule of consumer's equilibrium, it is important to understand the concept of utility. And we have two types of utility. You have been through this concept earlier also, in class 10th also, in class 11th also. What do you mean by utility? There are two types of utility. Now the next thing that we'll be saying is utility and what do you mean by different types of utility. Alright. Now utility refers to want satisfying power of a commodity, right? We all know what do you mean by utility. It is the want satisfying power of a commodity, that is, it is the capacity of a commodity to satisfy one's wants. Alright. Then there are certain features of utility. It is subjective, that is, it depends on the individual's own subjective estimate, that is, it depends on the person's requirement, how much satisfaction a person will get from the commodity. Then next is, it is not measurable. In general, utility is a psychological phenomena, so we cannot measure it. It is in the mental makeup of the person that a person may understand how much or how less satisfaction that person is getting. Then third is utility is relative in nature, that is, it is relative to the person's needs. Alright. When a person is sick, he or she might be requiring medicine, but if a person is not sick, the requirement of the medication will be very low for him. So it depends on person's need, how much satisfaction, how much what is the intensity of the desire for any commodity, that will decide the level of satisfaction of the commodity. Then utility is different from usefulness. Now here we have to be careful that utility and usefulness, these are two different things, right? So, for example, suppose you are a non-vegetarian, so non-veg is giving you a great satisfaction, a lot of satisfaction when you eat it. But at the same time, if a person is a non-vegetarian or he is a vegetarian, then non-veg will not give him any kind of satisfaction. So it is non-veg will not be useful for that person. So in that sense, or you can take one more example. Suppose there is a person who is habitual of drinking, right? So for that person, wine has a great satisfaction in drinking. But if a person is not a drunkard or he is not in habit of drinking wine, that wine won't be giving him any kind of satisfaction. So the commodity is relative in nature, that is, the satisfaction is relative in nature. If the person is using something, that commodity will be giving him or her satisfaction, otherwise that commodity will not give him or her any satisfaction. Then it is devoid of ethical connotations. Connotations means principles. There is no moral or ethical principle in the concept of utility. That means if something is giving you satisfaction, you will consume that commodity, whether it is moral or it is immoral. Utility has nothing to do with legal or illegal, moral or immoral. Suppose there is a thief, he is carrying a pistol with him. That pistol is giving him satisfaction or utility because he is needing it. On the other hand, if a person For a layman, for a normal person, for a normal citizen, pistol has no use, so that pistol will not be giving him any kind of satisfaction. All right, I hope all the features are clear to you. Alright, continuing with the utility concept, now we come to types of utility. We have two types of utility. One is total utility and the second is marginal utility. As far as total utility is concerned, it refers to the total satisfaction derived by the consumer from the consumption of a specific quantity of a commodity. Say number of mangoes, right? For example, number of mangoes. Or in other words, we can say that total utility is the sum total of the utilities derived from all the units consumed of a commodity. For example, the total utility of consuming 2 mangoes, suppose, is the total satisfaction that these 2 mangoes provide. Now suppose we measure them in terms of absolute values, and we say that these 2 mangoes, they are giving satisfaction equal to 17 utils. Then this is how we can say this is the total satisfaction that you derived out of the consumption of 2 commodities. Then next come the marginal utility. Marginal utility refers to the additional utility derived from the consumption of an additional unit of a commodity. Now here you just mind that the concept of marginal utility will remain throughout your syllabus the same. That is when you add one more unit, right? So marginal means it is an addition made to the total utilities by consuming one more unit of a commodity. Again, for example, say marginal utility of consuming a third mango. In total, we say we consumed 2 mangoes and the total satisfaction was equal to 17 utils. Now when you consume third mango, and the third mango is the increase in total utility as the consumption of mangoes is increased from 2 mangoes to 3 mangoes. That is, suppose now total utility has become 21 units. So 21 minus 17, the addition from the third unit is equal to 4 units. Now we'll understand the same phenomena with the help of a table, right? Let's see. So this is utility schedule for mangoes. We have taken 3 columns over here. First column is showing you unit of mangoes consumed by a consumer. Second column is telling you about the total utility in terms of utils. Now utils is the unit to measure utility. Alright? Utils is the unit to measure utility. So the second column is talking about the total utility or total satisfaction which consumer obtains after consuming these units of commodity, and the third column is talking about the marginal utility, that is when you add one more unit to the total, right? Now suppose we begin with 0. When consumer did not consume anything, the total satisfaction is also 0 and marginal is undefined. You can't define when you have not consumed anything, right? Then when he consumed first mango, the total satisfaction is equal to 10. Then when he consumed second unit, say total satisfaction is equal to 17 utils. Third unit, 21 utils. Fourth unit, 22 utils. Fifth unit, again 22 utils. And sixth unit, 19 units. Now we will be going out for the logic later on. Now this is the total satisfaction which consumer derives after consuming 6 units of a commodity, and that is mango in our case. Now how can we derive marginal from total? We derive marginal from total if we subtract 10 minus 0, then the marginal satisfaction is equal to 10. Alright. Then 17 minus 10, the marginal satisfaction is equal to 7. 21 minus 17, marginal satisfaction is equal to 4. Then 22 minus 21, marginal satisfaction is equal to 1. 22 minus 22, marginal satisfaction is equal to 0. And then 19 minus 22, marginal is minus 3. This is how you derive numerically or in a table. This is how you derive the marginal satisfaction. Now let us find out how we derive marginal satisfaction with the help of the formula. The formula to derive mu from tu is mu of nth is equal to tu of n minus tu of n minus 1. Right? The formula to derive mu from tu is mu of nth is equal to tu of n minus tu of n minus 1. Now let us put the values into this formula and see how. Alright, to recap, mu is the marginal utility, nth is the specific unit for which you are going to derive the utility. Then tu is the total utility of n unit. N can be the number of units that you have consumed over here, minus total utility of n minus 1, that is the unit which you have, the total number minus the previous one. Right? This is the formula. Now we'll see how it works. Now let the number of mangoes consumed be equal to n, right? Then the last, alright, so total number of mangoes consumed is n and the last mango consumed b is the nth mango, right? Alright. And n minus 1th mango is the one before the last. Alright, is that clear? Now the mu, that is marginal utility of nth mango, therefore equals the tu of n mangoes minus tu of n minus 1 mangoes. Alright. Alright. Let us put the values into this formula. This is formula is this mu. Alright. Mu of nth mango. Now suppose nth mango is 5th. Right. Mu of nth mango, 5th is nth is the 5th mango, suppose in our case, and its marginal utility is equal to 1. Right, and then is equal to tu is equal to tu of n. So total utility in our case is what? 6, right? Tu of n is equal to now look at the formula. Our formula is mu of nth is equal to tu of n minus tu of n minus 1. In our case, suppose we take nth as 5th unit in the table. The mu of nth 5th unit is equal to 0, right? So suppose we put this value over here in place of mu of nth, we put 0 is equal to tu of n. This is n in our case, 22 minus n, t of n minus 1, 22 minus 22 is equal to 0. Do you understand? So this is how you derive the marginal utility of any of the units. We can take one more example. Suppose we take 4 as the MU, right? So MU of 4th unit is equal to this, right? 1. Alright. We put 1 over here, right? Then TU of 4th unit is equal to this, again 22. Alright. Then N minus 1, 22 minus 21 is equal to 1. So MU of 4th unit, that is nth unit, is equal to 1. Is this clear to everyone? Right. Hence it is proved that MU of nth is equal to 1 units. Right. This is how you derive. Then how to derive the total utility? The total utility on the other hand can be computed as the sum of marginal utilities of various units of the commodity. So thus the total utility of N is equal to MU of 1 plus MU of 2 plus MU of nth units. Is that clear? That is, you sum all the marginal units in order to find out the total utility of all n units. This is how you derive the total utility. So where here in this formula, where Tu of n is the total utility from n units, and MU of 1, MU of 2 and MU of nth are marginal utilities from the first, second and n units of the commodity respectively, right? For example, the total utility from 3 mangoes, you can see over here, the total utilities from 3 mangoes is equal to 21 newtons. It can be found out by adding the marginal utilities of first 3 units. Is it 1, 10 plus 17 plus 21. Understood? That is 10 plus 7 plus 4 is equal to 21. Is that clear? This is how you can derive the total utility from the marginal utility. 10 plus 7 plus 4 is equal to 21. Is that clear? So let us see that how we can derive it. That is Tu of n. Suppose 3 units. We have n is our 3 unit, right? Tu of n is equal to 3 for us. In this case, Mu of 1 is 10 plus Mu of 2 of 7 plus Mu of 3 is equal to 4. So 10 plus 7 plus 4 is equal to 21.